In relationships, who's typically seen as the prize, the man or the woman?
The woman,
Well, who would be the prize in a lesbian relationship? Both of them?
I guess.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, I don't know where this guy is going with this line of questioning, but absolutely. The cultural frame is that women are the prize. That's the cultural frame. But the truth is that women are not the prize in relationships. Men are the prize. Women are the gatekeepers of bedroom fun. Men are the gatekeepers of relationships. Men are the prize. Men make more money in general. Men are stable, and basically men are the providers, right? Or at least they're supposed to be. And so, as a result of that, men are the prize. Also, but more importantly than this, it has to do with who needs who more. So, without a man, women are floundering and they're rudderless. Without women, men are fine. They can live out their lives entirely without women. They just won't reproduce. Women need men. Men actually don't need women except for reproduction. So, hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. If you're liking the channel, new here, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, like the video, comment on the video. If you'd like me to comment on a video, compilation, maybe a Reddit post, please send it to theheliosblog@gmail.com. On we go.
But why not both of them in a heterosexual relationship?
That's a good point.
It's really funny. Okay, now I understand. So he asks, in a relationship between two women, both women are the prize, but in a relationship between a man and a woman, the woman is the prize? So men have no value. Well, it's funny. The cultural narrative is men have no value. Men have to put women on a pedestal, and men have to worship the ground that women walk on, and if they don't, then they're not a real man. But the irony is that it's actually backwards, that men don't need women and that men are the prize. It's just women are trying to culturally brainwash men into believing stuff that isn't true. And the reason they're trying to do that is for the purpose of maximizing their agency while minimizing the agency of men. And the reason that they're doing that is so that they can have their cake and eat it too, maximize their AFBB, maximize getting a man for the best genes possible while also getting provisioning at the same time from different men.
Right.
It's a problem with our society.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe we should have a little more balance in relationships, because otherwise guys seem to struggle with commitment because it's a one-sided deal, right?
Well, that's not actually why men struggle with commitment. And relationships are not equal in 2022. Relationships heavily favor women. All serious relationships anyway. Serious monogamous relationship favors women. And also marriages favor women. In basically any relationship, past friends with benefits, favors women. It does not favor men, and it's a lie if anybody tells you that those relationships favor men. They do not. Anyway, one second. It looks like the window capture went away. Okay. I wonder if the window capture didn't work there. Okay. Anyway, we're just going to continue. I hope it's fine, because you can still hear the audio and stuff, so it should be fine. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
It's got to be
In some relationships,
It's got to be
probably.
balanced. Well, why do you think guys struggle with commitment?
Oh, okay. I'll answer this question before they do. So, why do men struggle with commitment? Actually, 95% of men do not struggle with commitment, because 95% of men, they have to take whatever they can get with regards to women. So they have to commit monogamously, and it's not their choice. They must do it out of necessity. But there is a percentage of men, the top 5, that don't have to commit, because basically all women, or whatever, let's say 95% of women, are interested in that top 5% of men. And so, because so many men are getting the attention, so few men are getting the attention of so many women, these men never have to commit. And so women who are only all chasing those top 5% of men, they complain that men don't commit. But what they're not realizing is that all of the men that are invisible to them would be totally fine with committing. So what women need to do is lower their standards or understand the truth that there are many men who would commit. You just need to go a little bit lower on your standards expectation list.
Is that a fair observation? Do you
That
think?
is also a very big question.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think a lot of women struggle with commitment too.
Struggle with commitment? Why do you
Yeah.
think?
Indeed, and here's the reason why women struggle with commitment. Many women struggle with commitment. There's actually multiple different reasons. Women struggle with commitment because if they've slept with many men, they burn out their ability to pair bond and then they can't commit. Or they feel like the grass is greener on the other side. So they're with a man who is committed to them, but they feel they can do better. And so they drop the previous man to get a new man. But every time they drop a previous man and get a new man, their value actually drops because their ability to pair bond goes down and their age goes up. So women actually lower in value as they increase in partners, and it makes it actually even harder to get a partner who's willing to commit because those partners see how many previous partners she's been with, or they see the red flags, and for the women they lower their ability to pair bond, so they can't even enjoy the new partners. So it's like that.
Women struggle with commitment.
I mean, I think in today's world,
Yeah.
where you're like exposed to a lot of dating apps, there's just a lot thrown at you, and so
Indeed, it's literally 2022 dating has made women have so many options that they're not going to commit. But they do want to commit. They want to commit to the top 5% of men who aren't going to commit to them. Again, please leave a comment if you agree or disagree with what I'm talking about. That's what the comment section is for.
committing to one person is really, I don't know.
Who has more options?
Oh, by the way, commitment is hard for women only in their rock star phase or a little bit past. So when they're, let's say, the age of 18 to 23 or a little bit older, commitment is very difficult because all of the most attractive men are still interested in sleeping with them. And so instead of taking the first or the second man who they get and sticking by him, they don't do that. They jump from man to man to man, gaining experience, in quotes, while actually ruining their ability to pair bond and hurting themselves in the future. Okay, let's see what these girls have to say.
In dating, men or women?
Women.
Women have more options in dating, yes. Absolutely. And that is doubtless. And I would say that 80 to 85% of the female population has more options than any man ever gets.
Really? Why do you think so?
Pussy run the world. Hello.
That's, that's honestly not true. That's not a lie. Many men, like I would say most, like let's say 85% at least, if not 90, their entire reason for being or for doing or for striving or for competing is literally to gain the ability to reproduce. So they're not wrong. It's just an indirect motivator for most men. And that's just because of that, the human race continues on. So they're not wrong.
Oh.
Doesn't having more options in dating give women the privilege of being more picky than men?
Yes.
Absolutely. That is absolutely true. And here's the thing. They're also hyper picky now compared to before. Because now we have the global marketplace, right? Because of online dating and Instagram and TikTok and all that. And so because of that, women are choosing the top 5% of men in the world for reproduction. And the rest of the men are left on the wayside, right? So that's just how it goes. It's a hyper-competitive world out there for men, and women definitely have more options. But there's only one problem with this. Well, there's several problems, but here is the problem I'm going to address right now, and the problem is the following. Because men are only ever going to marry one of those women, the rest of the women that wanted to get with that man, they don't get a partner. But because they've slept with him, their count is +1. But it's not actually +1. It's +1 of all of the top 5% men that they've been with, right? So many women are lowering their attractiveness by punching above their weight class and trying to get with a man who is too attractive for their attractiveness level. And so they're ending up miserable in the future as they can't attain the commitment of an actual attractive man in their estimation.
Yes.
Has social media changed dating?
Oh,
Yes.
for sure.
Absolutely.
I've already addressed this question in a previous reaction video. Of course, social media has changed dating. Social media has made the local market into a global market and made it incredibly difficult for men, and also has made more women miserable than ever before because they believe they have access to options they actually don't. Those men will sleep with you, but they won't actually marry you or commit to you or have children with you, and so these women end up miserable trying to get those men to commit.
Right?
The dating
How so?
apps, but I don't think the dating apps are always that effective for like real relationships. They're kind of
Indeed.
just for like one night stand type of
Right.
things.
I think
Well, they are for you, a young 18 to 23-year-old who's having her fun in the moment. But again, this is just a girl who doesn't realize what those apps are doing to her in the future. It's literally like fast food, right? In the moment it feels good, but over time it ruins you.
social media has taken away like a really romantic side to relationships. I think that people get into relationships and it's all about posting your relationship and showing other people that you're in that relationship rather than...
That is absolutely true for women. Now, with regards to that romantic thing, right, that she's talking about, no. I mean, technically speaking, there was never any romance, right? And the comparing your relationship to all your other friends was always a thing, and it's been a thing since humanity has existed because women do that. So that has always been a thing. That's not the problem. The problem is the tiered system, right? There's basically two tiers of men, and women are all interested in only the top 5%, and because they're only interested in the top 5%, the other 95% of men suffer, and also the women suffer because none of them are able to actually get the commitment from those top 5% of men. So women end up unable to pair bond and alpha widowed, and then finally they marry a loser in their estimation, when they could have just had a good man from the beginning, married, had his children, and not been miserable, right? And that's the problem. The apps and online dating and Instagram and social media has made women believe that they're better than they are because they get so much attention. But all it is men showing their biological truth to women, and women thinking that they're better than they are because they see that most men are attracted to them when they're young, fit, and attractive. But it's not saying much that a man is attracted to you physically at that age, because basically all men are, right? So it's like saying water is wet. It doesn't make the girl better than she is, higher than her level.
Than being present with the person, and so there's a lot of being on a phone in a date, and you don't just go out and do things outside. You always have your phone, so you always have that social tie. There's always an aspect of I'm wanting to show this off.
For her, for this girl who's being interviewed, that's not the case for everyone. But this is actually an important thing that I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in a video, but I believe it. You need to set a standard that your girl is not on her phone in front of you. Like, she should not be texting, she should not be on social media, she should not be doing stuff in front of you. When she's with you, she's present. And if she's not present, that's not a relationship. And if she refuses to bend to that standard, then she's never going to be upgraded past friends with benefits.
It's not necessarily all a personal experience.
What is the number one thing you don't understand about women?
Oh man, why they want to say one thing and mean something completely other?
Oh, I can actually explain this one. Very often it's just to maximize their success, right? Very often, the lies that women tell are just to maintain their position. So I would say like 90% of women's lies or obfuscation is just to maintain the matriarchy. So the matriarchy is like the women's privileged position in society, basically, and that women run the world, or that every social system and every every possible system you can think of favors women, and it's because of lies that they tell, right? And that includes relationships, serious relationships where women are favored, marriages where women are favored, basically everything you can think of. That's why they lie, because it maintains their power.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't get along with women that well. I mean, like, they're just the worst. Like,
it's really funny. There's actually an expression. Don't try to understand women. Women understand each other and don't like each other very much. But this girl is the classic, what's it called? Tomboy. So the idea is she's the type that has many male friends and not many female friends, and she has lots of orbiters and lots of guys doing stuff for her and lots of partners. She doesn't get along with women because she gives away the game, but also because she has the attention of men that those women want the attention of, right? And they feel that she's a shill, that she's, pandering to men and giving away women's power as a result. And that's exactly his strategy, right? Her strategy is, look at what a cool girl I am. Don't you want me? And it's effective because she's, attractive. So, I mean, she looks like she's past the prime, actually. I don't think she's in her early 20s, but anyway.
they just can't make their minds up, and they're weak, and I don't know, they don't know how to think. Like, it's just a lot of women are just, they have this, like, women, I don't know, it's just, like, too sensitive for me.
This is another thing. And it's a red flag, actually, what this girl is saying. Okay. Every man that a woman is with imprints on her somehow. Especially alpha males. But anyway, once the girl has had a certain amount of past partners, what's going to happen is her mannerisms are going to change. She's going to become more masculine. And that's what you're seeing here. So you're seeing her talk like a man, right? And that's because she's been with so many men and she has so many male friends. She's not very feminine. Like, she's feminine in appearance, but in personality and demeanor, she's actually masculine. And it's because she's been with so many men. It's a red flag. It means friends with benefits only, which is why you see no ring on her finger, by the way. This is her right hand. It's not her left hand. She's not married.
I probably am too aggressive for most women.
Okay, so what advice would you have
Don't
for a
put
guy?
any of that in there.
Oh, that's the best stuff right there. That's the most honest. Are you kidding?
I'm gonna be like scrutinized.
No. See, we need to hear these things, man. We're clueless and stuff. What advice would you have for a guy who could be your soulmate and wants to come up and strike up a conversation without being perceived as creepy?
Ask me about the things that I enjoy doing, what I really love, what my biggest fears are. Like, be deep. Don't.
That doesn't work. This sort of be deep and ask me about what my interests are. The guy doesn't know what your interests are because he doesn't know you. So he's not going to be able to do that. So what she's talking about here is how a top 5% man can distinguish himself from other top 5% men, right? By doing things that she wants, effectively, is what she's saying. But the thing is that top 5% men are not interested in doing what you want to do. A top 5% man will never bow to your requirements. So this is just a pipe dream, right? Like, ask me about what I want, be romantic, be, like, the man is already a top 5% man. That's all he needs to do to get you. He doesn't need to do any more. And this is why I say on the channel that it's better time spent becoming a superior man than chasing women. Because chasing women is useless. It's a waste of your time. You need to go after your goals, your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations, and leave this sort of stuff to the wayside.
Make surface level conversation. I don't want to know what you think about the weather. I want to know what you think about big things,
This is some BS, right? Like, again, this girl, she's telling on herself, right? When she says, I don't want to hear whatever, what she's saying is that the previous men that she's been with, who are top 5%ers, all they did was have basic conversation and then sleep with her, right? And she wants more. But clearly she doesn't, because that's what she selected, right? So, all right, anyway, let's go on to our Reddit post here. Called her ex's name in bed. I've been talking to this girl for a few months. We're both 24, and during bedroom fun one night, she said back-to-back 4 times her ex's name. It was in the moment, so I just kept going. But after I brought it up, I asked her what her ex's names were, and she listed off all three, and one was that name. I said, nice, you called me that during bedroom fun. She says there's no way, and she could tell I was upset, so she left and walked to her friend's house. I mean, there's no clearer way to be told you're second best than that, right? There's no clearer way to be told she's an alpha widow. So if this happens to you, I mean, even friends with benefits, I'm not sure she qualifies for, right? Like, it's ridiculous. She called me crying and told me about how the ex caused her trauma and that she never meant to say anything, and talked about other past trauma with me, and basically has a breakdown moment. So, translation. AFBB. Her ex was the AF, and now this guy's the BB, the shoulder to cry on. She wants, butler services, taxi cab services, shoulder to cry on services, etc. But when she's having bedroom fun, she's thinking about the ex. I can tell this chick has had some very bad guys and bad experiences. That's a red flag. If she's had bad guys and bad experiences, it means that's what she chooses actively. And, she's already alpha widowed. So you need to move on. Mind you, on this night she was pretty drunk when she showed up. I've never been called an ex's name before, and it weighs on me a bit. Yes, it should. It's triggering your biological instinct that you're not good enough for her, which means she's a bad bet for paternity. She would not want to have your children. She wants to have her ex's children. Is this no big deal, or should I be worried about her fantasizing about him? I mean, that you're thinking about this means everything it says everything it needs to say, right? His instincts are right on the money. Okay, let's see, comment here. Sounds like she has unhealed trauma she needs to work on before being in a relationship. Okay, sure. Or she needed a quick way out of an embarrassing situation. People throw around the word trauma like it means nothing. Okay. I'm surprised she had to call out his name 4 times before he got the hint. I bet she was thinking about the ex. I mean, come on. I mean, guys, it's obvious, right? When the girl's not into you, he's not into you. Yeah, I came here to watch the contortionists twist themselves into pretzels, rationalizing this completely unacceptable behavior. Exactly. That's exactly right. It's totally unacceptable. We all know it's I don't really need to go off on this that much. We all know this is ridiculous. All right, we're going to end the episode here. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, please hit the subscribe button, hit all for notifications, leave a comment if you agree or disagree with my content or my comments. Again, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please remember to do all of the following. Like the video for the algorithm. Comment on the video. I respond to all comments and I'll give you a heart. Subscribe and hit the bell so you can see my content on your feed. Check out all of my content on other platforms. It spreads the reach of the channel. YouTube, bit.ly/Helios YouTube. Rumble, bit.ly/Helios Rumble. My blog is realheliosblog.com. My podcast, bit.ly/Helios Podcast. My Patreon, patreon.com/The Helios Blog. You can also support the show at bit.ly/Helios Donations and buy my books at bit.ly/Helios Books. Thank you so much for all of your support.